I think I've experienced quite a bit in this industry where I've had to kind of tailor and like tamp down the things that I wanted to say and how I wanted to exist. And so it was very, very cool to be able to express those things in this setting.
I'm Russ Milheim from the Direct. Thank you so much for talking to me today about the studio.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Now, I've seen all 10 episodes.
Nice.
Great job on the series. It's so much fun. And it must have been quite the experience for you. So like my first question is just like how weird must it have felt to be able to riff and basically take aim not only the film industry as a whole, but it must have felt at times like you were given full reign to just simply make fun of your bosses.
It was cathartic and therapeutic. I think I've experienced quite a bit in this industry where I've had to kind of tailor and like tamp down the things that I wanted to say and how I wanted to exist. And so it was very, very cool to be able to express those things in this setting. There's a line in the first episode that I really love where we're talking about TikTok and like the Zay Zay dance, and I tell Seth character, Matt, as our boss, you should know more. And I felt that so deep in my soul. I've been in so many settings where I felt that exact thing, where I wanted to say, hey, you are in charge and you make so much more money than me. Why don't you know more? Very simple, but I feel like that line really encapsulate what the studio like means to me.
Now, for Tyler's position, how did you dive into, getting that foundation for your performance regarding his experience and perspective in the industry?
I think like writers' rooms kind of dynamics that I've been in, I've been kind of the token black person who's just kind of happy to be there and knowing that well there there's not many of us here. So like I can't say too much because I really gotta hold down the position. But I'm trying to find every way I can sneak in my true intentions and my true thoughts. So like that was very easy and true to bring in for Tyler because I am Tyler, Tyler is me. We're very similar in that
Mhm.
regard.
The show is a very chaotic. There's a great chaotic vibe throughout the whole thing. But what is it like maintaining that chaotic nature, not only in a take, but throughout the whole day of shooting? How does that feel?
I I think with the training that I've had, like improv, sketch, theater, the process felt very theater-like, where with the one takes, you really kind of had to be present because you didn't want to be the person that messes up the take because oh, we're going to have to redo this because of me. So there was like a competitive spirit, but like a really great competitive spirit to be like, okay, we all have to nail this because if I mess up, it's like it felt like kind of like a sporting event. Like we were on a sports team and being like, okay, we all have a position to play. And if you don't bring your best, it's going to be noticeable because we're gonna have to start over and it's gonna be your fault. And so
Yeah.
there's this energy of being like, okay, we are a team, we got this. And I think that instantly created a camaraderie and an energy that was like pretty consistent. And the more we did it, the closer we felt to be like, okay, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. And that energy, I think, really energized every scene. And so that chaos was easy to sit in because you felt it. You felt the energy. You felt like, okay, this is take 16. All right, how many more takes are we gonna do? Okay, take 20. Oh, okay. Like, and as you're getting closer and closer, the stakes feel higher, which created like a very cool energy. And then when we hit it, there was like a celebration and been like, we got it. Like it was an energy that I have not felt filming anything else because I've never been in something filmed in that way. So it was just very, very cool. I'm going to steal it and I'm going to film things of my own in that way in the future. So I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it as a performer.
Now, as a writer yourself, what is your pitch for the Kool-Aid movie?
My pitch would be I think Nick Stoller's was like pretty was like pretty close. Because I love a four quadrant movie. I love me a family time. Like I think that is a good time at the movies. And as we can see with Minecraft, it works. Like yeah, there's clearly a blueprint that I feel like they were commenting on. But in my pitch, Kool-Aid would be played by Dewayne Perkins.
I like it. I like it. I mean, I'm all for it. There you go. Who do we talk to?
Exactly. Hello, Seth, make the movie. Put me in it.
I did really like that episode later in the season where they're talking about the casting of Kool-Aid. That was a great one.
Yes, that is one of my favorites. And I got to work with Z-Way, who is a good friend of mine. We came up together in Chicago doing improv. So that was like a nice full circle moment.
Hmm. Tyler spends a lot of time with Kathryn Hahn's Maya, who is, absolutely crazy in this. How is it like working across from her energy?
Um, Fantastic. I brought a friend of mine to South by Southwest, and he was very shocked by like how close and normal everybody was, and specifically with Catherine. Like, and she said it to him. She was like, the moment that me and her met, there was kind of like a instant connection. And I was like, hey, I think you're her. And she was like, you're him. And we really became very close very quickly. And when we were going to South by Southwest, I saw her at the airport and she like screamed. And I was like, yes, this is like a true energy. Like, I think she is so wonderful, so funny, so playful. And we hit it off pretty instantly. So it was very easy to kind of reflect that dynamic.
Who on set would you say, is most like their character, and then who is least like their character? So you feel like tattling on someone though, so.
Um, I think Seth is least like his character because I feel like Matt is kind of a fuck up. He really just any space he's in, I'm just like, girl, get it together. And I think Seth is like the opposite. He's pretty chill. The times I've like been around him, he has like a very low key. He's not trying to take up too much space, and I feel like Matt was the opposite, where he was like, I want to be seen, I want to be heard. And then I feel like the closest, and we joke about this, is Kayla. And she was like, yeah, like I'm not acting. I'm just kind of being like, what's going on? Who are these people? Why am I here?
Easiest job in the
Joke a
world.
lot about that. I love her so much. We became very close. There was a point on set where we were like truly like at the hip, and Bryan Cranston came over and he was like, what is this? What is going on? And we were like, I don't know. I think we're soulmates.
At the end of the day, what do you want audiences to take away the most, from from the story that the studio is telling?
As a person that works in this industry and kind of experience it the day to day, I think that there is such a gap and a separation of information as to what people think the job is versus what it is. And I really hope the show creates like shortens that gap and let people know that like there is a very universal experience to having a job, and that even though this may look cool from the outside, it is still capitalism. It is still a job. People are still having to navigate hierarchies, have to navigate the social settings of these places, have to navigate power dynamics, and that Hollywood is actually not as far away or like as separate as people may think. And that though people may have cool jobs, it may still be fucking terrible.
I want to pivot real quick and ask about a different project. You are writing the Clue movie. Can you tease anything about what people can expect from the story of that movie?
I can't because that is not correct.
Oh,
That
okay.
is
So there we
on
go. Good.
IMDb. They just wrote it wrong. Yeah, I was working on a Clue television show, an
Ah,
animated show, and then somehow they got conflated. So I can tell you the plot of that movie because I didn't come up with it.
is the show still happening?
No.
Now, last topic that I want to ask about is pivoting again to you were awesome in the Blackening, by the way.
Thank you.
There's a sequel in the works. What any updates you can offer where that might be in the development cycle?
We're working on the script right now. I think it's fantastic. I love it, and I'm very excited to continue the process. So I hope it will be coming to a screen in the very near future because I want to do it so bad because
I'm
it's
assuming a
so good.
2025 release is probably off the table.
You know, you never know. You never know how quickly things can move if people want them to move quick.
All right, next week. I expect to see the
By summer.
Yeah. All right. Well, sir, thank you for talking to me today about the studio and everything else. You're wonderful in it, and I look forward to everyone else getting to be able to see the rest of the episodes and experiencing the chaos and just everything about the film industry.
Thank you. I agree. I think those last couple ones are really a good time. So I'm very excited as well. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you. And until next time.